challenges. There were 7 of them, and they were really fun and unique. This year, we partnered with NASA to test edible plant varieties for growth for long-distance space travel. We worked with our scientists and researchers to help restore endangered native orchids of South Florida. We allowed students to identify native and non-native lizards for researchers here at FIU and researchers also at the University of Rhode Island. We tracked the biodiversity in your schoolyard for the Nature Conservancy. We designed original flowers that have real-world characteristics, created recipes for astronauts, and taught people how Florida's landscape is changing. And that's what you see today. And if you take a minute before you leave today and take a look at some of the submissions, or if you had an opportunity before to take a look at some of these submissions that were done by your students, you should be very proud. We were very proud, and I have to say, and I'm going to say this out loud, the middle school students did better than anyone else. The middle schools rocked it this year, for sure. So just before we get started, really quickly, I want to do a couple of little shout-outs here. To all the students, I want you to recognize, and the parents, I want you to recognize, if you're with one of your teachers today, and if you're not, I want you to go back to your school and thank those teachers for not only just getting you involved in this program, but for all of the hard work and effort that you give them a big round of applause. Do you know that your teachers attended workshops on Saturdays to prepare for this? Do you know that they worked extra hard to add this into the curriculum to make sure that you had a nice, rich, and robust curriculum? So they are the ones that we should really thank. So good job, teachers. I also want to recognize the parents, because I know in a lot of cases, as a parent myself, that a lot of this stuff comes home to you as homework, and then you're like, what? Okay. So and you find out about it at like 10:30 at night, and you need a poster board and some sparkly crayons, and you don't have them, but you do run out and you get them because you want your kids to do well. So let's give the parents a big round of applause. Without you guys, the students. The middle school students from 116 middle schools across Miami-Dade and Broward County contributing to this project, participating in it, competing to show their school as being superior. So students, we are so proud of you. Give them a big round of applause. Now, as a competition, this is a competition, what we do is we, the staff at Fairchild, do not judge the pieces. We bring in people from outside in the community because, you know, we all have our favorite schools, we have our favorite teachers and students, and we love all of you so much that we can't, you know, rightfully judge your work. So we bring in judges from all over the community to be able to give you guys an opportunity to really judge, really give you the credit that you deserve. I'm not sure we have any judges in the room today, but if we do have judges in the room today, stand up. It was more than just a dare doing this, right? So a dare, it wasn't just a dare, it wasn't just that one person back there. It's a whole bunch of people. She's just one that came, so thank you, Adair. Also, the volunteers, those judges are volunteers. They give of themselves. They come here on their own. They do this out of the kindness of their heart. Yes, we do feed them, but they do come here on the kindness of their own heart. And when we put on an event like this, it's the volunteers that help us do these events. So I don't know if there's any of our volunteers. Adair's in the room again. Adair gets another round of applause. And Bar? Oh, Bar's in the parking lot. That's what happens when you're a volunteer. But most importantly, you need to understand that the time and effort that it goes into putting all of these activities together, putting these events together, getting all the judging panel, All of that is done by my team, my very wonderful team that I'm so proud of, making me look really good every day. But it is them who does all this work. So right here we have Barbara Martinez Guerrero, we have Jamie driving the shuttle, Sarah letting you in the door, and Mary, you got the pizza. So there you go. So big round of applause for this guy. All right. Now before I turn it over to get this started, are you guys excited to find out the winners of the challenges? So how this is going to work is we're going to do all the student challenges first. I want you all to stick around because at the end, what we do is we reward the schools who achieve the most points. So basically the Fairchild Challenge, for every individual challenge, every individual student projects, the schools receive points. And the schools with the largest amount of points at the end win cash prizes to continue doing these things in their school from Fairchild. So I want you all to stick around to find out if your school won a banner or a trophy, or if they won cash prizes to be able to continue to do this. So stick around for that. Now, with that being said, I have a couple of logistics. First and foremost, bathrooms. Bathrooms on that side. Out the door to your right, around the corner, outside to your left, and the building across the way. There are restrooms. Please, do me a favor. Take out your cell phone right now. Take a look at it. Please make sure it's turned off. There is probably nothing less considerate than having your phone on and having it ring in the middle of something like this, where we're, wanting to celebrate the work of these kids. So make sure your phone is off. In order to keep this moving, we're going to do photo ops outside. At the end, we put up a beautiful place with plants and a Fairchild tablecloth, and it looks very lovely, so you want to do your photo ops out there. That'll be a great idea. We'll flip on the lights on the patio, right? And but we're going to do, the kids are going to get a chance to come up on the stage. Please do not pick up your work until the end. You are able to take your work or your students' work, but wait till the end so everybody gets a chance to see them. Also, at the end, if you parked at the north gate, that was the gate that was far away, we are going to have a tram that's going to pull up here at the end, and everybody's going to hop on that tram, and we're going to drive you all right back to the parking lot. Teachers, if your students aren't here, please send up a representative from the school, even if your teacher's not here. If you're representing that school, you can come and receive that award on the behalf of that school. And you're going to enter from your right, and you're going to go off on your left, and that's the way it's going to work. So now I'm going to turn it over to Barbara. Thank you, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come on down. Are you ready?
Welcome everybody. I'm so happy to see all of you here. We are so proud of the work that you have done, and you guys should be really proud of what you've turned into us. So we're just going to get started. We have a total of 7 challenges that schools competed in this year. And so we're going to start with our first challenge. Ooh, thank you, my clicker. And the first challenge this year was actually for our teachers. Throughout our 16 years, we've had wonderful challenges for students, and the teachers started a couple of years back wanting to have a little competition of their own. So this year, we asked our teachers from schools K through 12 to come up with a design that celebrates one of Florida's native plants that we have here, specifically at Fairchild. So the teachers got a chance to pick from our local slash pine, red mangrove, sable palm, cootie, live oak, Florida butterfly orchid, or giant leather fern. And they created a design that we can print on different things, and this year we decided to print them on reusable grocery totes. And the teachers got awards. And at the end of the year, we just had on Saturday our teacher celebration. We had over 250 teachers that came, and we gifted them with the winner's design, which we're going to show you in a little bit. So let's get started with our middle school winners. our middle school teachers. We had 45 teachers participate in this design. Our first award goes to Livan Escudero from Ventura Waterways K8. He received a special mention for relevance to theme. If he can come up and receive his certificate. Can anybody guess what he represented here? Kunti! Woo, we should play a little trivia. Let's give Livan a big round of applause. Our next teacher winner was from Matter Academy Lakes, Karina Pita. She received a special merit for her artistic composition. What do you guys think? What do you think this is? Yes, our butterfly orchid. Our next winner is Evelise Villalobos from Miami Lakes Middle School. She received a special merit for her striking design. Now for middle school received the second place for this challenge, and it went to Joseph Fisher from Rockaway Middle School. Do you have a representative from Rockaway come up to get the award? Good. If the teacher's not here, we can have the students come up as well. Unless he is a teacher, then whoa, we're getting really young teachers. You're not the teacher, right? And just to show you our first place winner and the bag that it was printed on, first place went to Mara Reynosa Vega from Sylvania Heights. Now, our first student challenge, we asked our middle schools to look into one of Everglades' 8 primary ecosystems and to create an infographic, that means a kind of poster that has drawings and facts depicting how rising sea levels are currently affecting this particular habitat or might affect it in the future. And if you get a chance, these are our infographics that were submitted from our 56 schools that participated with over 2,500 students working on this particular challenge. So let's get started with the special merits. And like Amy said, even if you personally, if the person that won the award is not here, but you are a representative of the school, please come up so you can take your award. So we'll start with special merits. Our first special merit goes to John F. Kennedy Middle School, Paige Eswed, for artistry. Our next special merit goes to a group from Rockaway Middle School. Let's have Rebecca Carolero, Matthew Rodriguez, Samantha Rodriguez come on up to receive their certificate for special merit of clarity in their infographic. Our next special merit goes to Shenandoah Middle School, Ashley Ferreira and Carlos Salcedo for their graphic impact. Our next special merit is Violin K8 Center, Emma Zaka and Madison Galvez for their scientific rigor in their infographic. Great, love it when we have people come up. And as you can see, and if you get a chance to read some of the information that was put in these infographics, students had to do a lot of research to be able to come up for these special merits for this challenge. Now, our next special merit goes to W.R. Thomas, Aleli Gaka, Paola Quintana, Dolly Insurgent, and Anthony Rivera for their best representation of ecosystem. And another special merit to W.R. Thomas, a group of Ethan Breeding, Tommy Besca, David Perez Baroto, and Diego Navarro for creativity of their infographic. Our second place winners were from Paul W. Bell Middle School, Ashley Rivera, and Kayla Mejia. Second place and first place winners will receive certificates along with some nice medals that we have. And our first place winners were from Country Club Middle School. Students Isabella Bahamonde, Alanis Vega, Luisa Marrero, and Melanie Rodriguez. Come on up. Congratulations, ladies. And you can see the beautiful work that they did. And we're going to give them those first place medals. Our challenge 2 for this year was our Green Treasures, Plants for the Cure. This year we partnered with doctors and scientists at the University of Miami Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. They are studying the medicinal uses of plants by different cultures, and they asked for our help in collecting ethnobotanical information from South Florida's diverse residents. Students were asked to interview adults in their community to find out how a medicinal plant or plants from their culture were cultivated, harvested, prepared, and used. They then had to create short YouTube videos that incorporated both the information that they found through their interviews and the research they found in the plants that they learned about. All of these videos are on our YouTube channel, the Fairchild Challenge YouTube channel, and you can watch them at your leisure. We had 49 schools submit videos for this particular challenge, so it was really hard for the judges. We also hosted an opportunity for students to conduct intergenerational interviews here at Fairchild to facilitate in their interview process. And this was in part thanks to the Latin American and Caribbean Center at FIU that helped bring students here, where they interviewed members of local senior centers and Fairchild volunteers and shared their experiences and knowledge with students. And you can see some pictures of this beautiful event. So let's get started with our award winners. Our first special merit goes to a group from Hialeah Gardens Middle School for Best Opening Video. If we can have representatives. Our next group of students received a special merit for Most Humorous. Gabriel Cordero, William Zapata, Ty Cotras Arias, and Rajano Rahim from John F. Kennedy Middle School. Our next special merit winner was from Miami Lakes Middle School, the group with the most charming video. And again, I highly recommend that you go to our YouTube video channel and see these. Really cute. Our second place winner, receiving not only a certificate but also a trophy, is Shenandoah Middle School. Shenandoah Middle School receiving second place. And our first place school was La Squala Cutler Bay. Alright, let's have students. I know there's a bunch of students that participated in this. Carlos Andrade, Kaylee Castillo, Jay Delgado, Nicholas Jajalmer, Alex Felipe, Malcolm McMillan, Caden Gonzalez. Let's give them a big round of applause. Our next challenge was our Petals and Pollinators Challenge. We asked students to look at how flowers have co-evolved specialized traits with various animal pollinators. They've become perfectly adapted for retrieving nutritious nectar within within blossoms. These animals carry pollen from flower to flower, enabling the plant to reproduce. Students were asked to look at that co-evolution of flower and pollinator and create those beautiful 3D models that you guys see at the corner here and behind. They were also asked to identify what kind of pollinator the flower relies upon and what traits were showed this co-evolution. We had 58 schools submit entries for this challenge, and these were so beautiful that we had an art exhibit here at Fairchild during our Chocolate Festival in January, and our top winners were also invited to come and exhibit their work at Blick Art Materials here in Pinecrest, and they were up for a couple of weeks. We had a nice little event that we invited all of our winners, and you can see they were showcased at Blick. So we'd like to celebrate those students, but starting with our special merit winners. First special merit for most unusual is Air Base Cadet Center, Chloe Mitchell. Knitting of her flower, and I hope I pronounced this right, is exophyllum. Correct? Woo! Our next special merit goes to Curtis Bain from Richmond Heights Middle School for scientific rigor in his description of the co-evolution between flower and pollinator. Our next group of students receiving a special merit for overall creativity were from St. Kevin Catholic School. Jonathan Lopez, Tyler Fitzgerald, Eric Gonzalez, Melissa Fernandez Tejeda, and Isabella Perez Marie. Our next special merit goes to South Miami Middle School for their overall artistry. Cynthia Lopez, Sarah Mall, Christina Montesino. Congratulations. Our next special merit goes to Westminster Christian for most creative flower-pollinator relationship to a group of students, Kaylee Frankenwish and Margaret Meow. And our last special merit for this challenge went to W.R. Thomas Middle School Team Iris for their use of materials. Our second place winner was from Nautilus Middle School, Ariana Torriente. We have the teacher coming up, representing Ariana. And our first place winners from Shenandoah Middle School, a group of students, Leonette Marrero, Andrea Garcia, Elsie Gonzalez, and Sergio Naranjo. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, I'm going to turn it over now to Marian Litzinger so she can talk about our next challenge that students participated in, which is a really interesting one. It's our Growing Beyond Earth.
Hello, good evening, everybody. For you parents, if you have not heard about Growing Beyond Earth, this is a project in partnership with NASA, and your students are actually working for the researchers at NASA. We are trying to find plant varieties which can be grown in space for long-term space missions, and feed the astronauts with everything they need. And because at the Kennedy Space Center they don't have enough people, they don't have enough room, they don't have enough time, they are using your classroom as an extended laboratory. So if your students come home, if your kids come home and they talk about the purple glow, about growing friends, about eating a salad, that's when they do the Growing Beyond Earth project, which is actually also funded by NASA. So your students are doing research for NASA, which I think is pretty cool for middle school students. Now the challenge. It's getting a little bit complicated because we have a lot of awards to give out today. The students received a setup in their classroom, which is pretty similar to the veggie unit in the International Space Station. The veggie unit where they grow already vegetables. We gave them an assortment of leafy greens, Asian leafy greens. They were putting them out, they were planting them, and then took weekly measurements. All those numbers went directly to the Kennedy Space Center researchers. And they are sorting through all those plants. We are now in the 3rd year with that, and so far, one of the plants was selected to go on the next ISS planting mission, and 3 are right now in ground testing. So you can see that this work, what your students do, is really, really important. Now for this challenge. They did all the measurements, and they did all the, at the end, harvested, and then they had to create a poster. A poster to describe their research. The posters are also hanging up, I think it's back there in the corner. And you should really look at them. They are really great. They are fantastic. So now let's start with the special merits. Oh yes. It was Amy mentioned earlier a workshop. This is actually a teacher workshop which we are having at the beginning of the school year. Everybody who is taking home one of those grow chambers has to participate in the workshop. So all the teachers had to come. And as you can see, we have the NASA scientists here at Fairchild, and they explain everything. So our first special merit for the Growing Beyond Earth poster is going to Bridge Prep Academy, Village Green, for the best use of photos. Oops. Yeah, okay, I broke it already. So the next special merit is going to Christy Steps Academy for student involvement. Okay, our next special merit for most visually appealing is going to iMatter Academy Middle School. And we have a special merit for clarity of the poster for Jose de Diego Middle School. Okay. For the best poster layout, we have a special merit going to Mater Academy Lakes Middle School. I'm always always too fast when I'm doing that. I apologize. So the next special merit for the best use of graphs is going to Rockway Middle School. And another special merit goes to Vineland K8 Center for creative layout. And here we have our second place winner. And first place is going to Archimedean Middle Conservatory. Okay, and now we had just recently a Growing Beyond Earth research symposium, which was actually for high school. So the high school students were hanging up posters, they were creating posters, and we had NASA scientists coming here to judge those posters, the presentations. We also invited middle schools to participate and to come and to interact and to present to those researchers. It was for no points. It was no special bonus points. It was just to present their work. The researchers were so impressed that we gave some extra awards. They really, really loved it. They were so impressed by the middle school students, they almost forgot about the high school students. So now we have some special awards for those presentations, which are going to Natasha Chitea, Sofia Sierra, Ricardo Orozco, Diego Brogo, and Nicole Rock at Bridge Prep Academy of Village Green for best quality presentation. Okay? And this gentleman here in the blue shirt, he's a really tough judge. I mean, if you could impress him, then that was really cool. We have another special merit. For Palmetto Middle School, the most extensive research. Income, Eric Pena, Delani, Rosti, Julian Orego, and Gohan Josh. Oh, yeah, Amy is a tough judge too. Okay, another special merit for the most creative presentation goes to Vineland K8 Center. You guys are quite busy tonight, running up and down the stage. well, now that we had all those special merits, first and second places, we actually thought we need to make an overall award for the Growing Beyond Earth. Means we were looking at the posters, we were looking at the presentations, and we put that together. And an overall Growing Beyond Earth award is going at second place at a tie to Rockaway Middle and Airways Fairchild Center. To tell you, that is a lot of work. It is really a lot of work. We had also given the schools the opportunity to grow tomatoes in the second half of the school year. Who grew tomatoes? Okay, those tomatoes you were growing are the tomatoes which are going into space next year. They are planning on it. That is the variety NASA had chosen. So that is really cool. So now I guess you want to know who the first place overall winner is. Okay, let's see. Archimedes Middle School.
Let's congratulate all of our Growing Beyond Earth winners and thank Miriam for her awesome presentation. Congratulations, guys. Like she said, Growing Beyond Earth is a very, very rigorous challenge that we have, and so for those students who participated and those who won awards, congratulations, you really accomplished something huge. So give yourself another round of applause. As I switch my papers. Our next challenge was the Green Cuisine Challenge. This has been one of our very popular challenges over the past 16 years. For this challenge, we have a theme, and this year it was a taste of variety. So for this specific challenge, students had to research 2 different crop varieties in the same genus and determine which would be best grown in space given the lack of resources, such as space, as in the actual amount of area it takes up, and the amount of water that these plants would need. We had a Green Cuisine event, wrong way, where our students came. This was an event for middle and high school students. We had 2 judging panels. We had our roaming judges who gave away our Dish du Jour awards, and those were based off of the taste of the dish as well as the table presentations. And then we had another judging panel that took place to the side underneath tents, where students were judged based off of their actual presentations and the research that they did. So to get started with our Green Cuisine Awards, we have our special merits. First one going to David Lawrence K-8 Center, to the Savage Cabbage Cauliflower Happy Hour for Best Meat Substitute. Congratulations. And just as a side note, all of these dishes that they made were vegetarian, so Best Meat Substitute seems like a fitting award for our Green Cuisine Challenge. Oh, wrong way. Come on, Stacy, get it together. Our next one goes to Frank C. Martin K-8 Center, to Green Creek Spicy Coconut Rice for their best plating. And these were plated in actual coconut halves. The judges were very impressed. Very, very impressed. Congratulations. Our next special merit goes to Hialeah Gardens Middle School for the HGMS Culinary Arts Eggplant Explosion for their best comfort food, just like Mama made. Congratulations, Hialeah Gardens Middle School. Give it up. Next we have Rockaway Middle School, the Falcon Cooks Jiaozi Jukai dumplings for great taste. Come on, you get your steps in today. Hope you have your Fitbit on. Congratulations, Rockaway. Next up is Ruben Dario Middle School to Team Biology/Aerospace for their Thai coconut soup. Special merit for Best Spice. Congratulations. Your coconut soup was delicious. So spicy. Next we have our special merit to Vineland K-8, Green Studies Rocket Rolls for Best Presentation and Quality of Research. That's it, come on. Congratulations, kids. Yes. Like I mentioned, we had our roving judges who gave away our Dish du Jour awards. Our second place Dish du Jour went to iMatter Academy for their incredible edibles out of this world vegan chocolate blackberry cheesecake. And it was very incredible. Out of this world, some would say. We have our teacher representative coming up to accept the award. And another round of applause, Dish du Jour, second of the day. And our first place Dish du Jour for that day goes to West Miami Middle School, the Space Chefs for their cheesy spinach spaghetti squash. 3 times fast. Then, like I mentioned, we had our presentation underneath the judges where we awarded first and second place. So our second place for Green Cuisine goes to iMatter Academy Middle for, again, their incredible edibles out of this world vegan chocolate blackberry cheesecake. Yep, getting your steps in. Getting them in. Congratulations, second place, iMatter Academy. And our first place Green Cuisine goes to Pinecrest Cove Academy, Sarah Fernandez for her NASA split pea soup. Congratulations to Sarah. Congratulations. Moving on to our next challenge, challenge number 6. This was our Shade Our Schools Challenge, Flora and Fauna. For this challenge, students researched the role that trees played in attracting South Florida birds and lizards. Students performed point counts to see the number of birds present in areas with shrubs and areas with trees. This was through a partnership we have with the Nature Conservancy, and this was a continuing challenge that we started in elementary schools last year and continued through this year. So the data points, the bird counts that our students did actively contributed to our graduate fellows research, Alex, who cannot be here tonight, and then they also conducted point counts of lizards for our Lizard on the Loose project, which we'll hear about in a little bit. But to move on to some of our award winners for Challenge 6, we have our first special merit, let's rewind. We had a workshop. Just like Barbara and Amy mentioned, your teachers and your students' teachers spent many Saturdays with us. We got to know them very, very well. And during this workshop, we did a bird walk in the early morning. We reviewed all of the components of this challenge, which were quite extensive. And then we also distributed all the materials that were, like I said, graciously donated by the Nature Conservancy. So schools got a bunch of binoculars, they got flags, they got measuring tapes, and any materials that they needed to be successful in this challenge. And as a big thank you to you guys, and a big thank you from the Nature Conservancy, winning schools will receive a class set of binoculars. So that includes special merits and first and second place. So, with that being said, congratulations to George Washington Carver Middle School for their best botanical illustrations. Harbor Middle School, are you here? Yes, okay. Here she comes, George Washington Harbor Middle School. This is the theme song. Big congratulations, this is huge. Big box. Our next special merit goes to King's Christian School for their best reflections. Congratulations, King's Christian. Like Amy said, we were super impressed with our middle schoolers this year. They really blew us out of the water, not only with the Petals and Pollinators Challenge, but with their bird and lizard observations in this challenge. So take a close look at the pictures that we have up here, but also the journals in the back, and you'll see some of the drawings are very, very impressive. Our next special merit goes to iMatter Academy Middle School for their overall presentation. Come on, iMatter. No, you matter. Yes? Yes. Yes, you need help. These boxes are so heavy, filled with binoculars. Congratulations, iMatter. Our next special merit goes to Mandarin Lakes K-8 Academy for their most authentic field journal. Congratulations. Don't keep all of those, you have to give them to your classmates. Our next special merit goes to Rockaway. Come on, start walking. Rockaway Middle School, special merit for their accuracy of identification. So while middle school students were not required to accurately identify these birds, they actually did a very impressive job. You can see just from this drawing below, and they had both a male and female sparrow represented in their journal. So congrats. I'm going to hand the mic over to Dr. James Stroud. He is one of the lead scientists on the Lizards of the Loose project, and he's going to give you some brief background about the actual project and present some awards. Unfortunately, the special merit recipients of the Lizards on the Loose will not receive a set of binoculars, but you will receive a certificate. James Stroud. Clap it up.
Thank you. Hi everyone, how you doing? As Stacey kindly said, I'm James Stroud. I'm one of the guys that runs this project. Can I have a quick show of hands to whoever contributed to the Lizards on the Loose project this year? And did you all use the iNaturalist as well? Yeah. Fantastic. So that's the first time we ever run the project using iNaturalist to this extent for sure. And it was so successful for brown anoles, which I'm sure you're all familiar now, it actually crashed the whole website. So we had a huge spike, and then me and Chris, my co-author on this stuff, had to write to iNaturalist and tell them that brown anoles didn't just explode in Miami for some reason. It's just the project was so successful that you guys contributed more data than I've ever seen before in the winter. So please keep it up next year. It really, really blew our minds. It was fantastic. So the first prize we have is for Palmetto Middle for the most lizard observations recorded. These guys, I'm not even joking, they were incredible, and nearly all of the observations in the whole project was down to this school. It really was incredible. I think they're up down to like 1,500 observations. It was above and beyond anyone else, and congratulations guys, it was really, really good. I hope everyone else is going to push next year for the same. And the next one for the best lizard illustrations. Look at this! Brown anoles, green anoles, and anole. Excellent. So W.R. Thomas Middle School, you can come up and collect an award. No one's it. And then iMater with the first place for the views. We have a second place. It's way more interesting this way, there's a build-up. So for the second place for the Viewer's Choice Award, this is for the videos explaining your project for the Lizards on the Loose this year. South Miami Middle. Excellent, my old local school, I used to live in South Miami. these happy kids? They've just spent months looking at lizards. You can't beat smiles like that. Congratulations, guys. And there's a trophy. Okay, none of you know this, but there's a first place prize as well. It's going to be as much of a shock to me as you. So with first place in the Viewers' Choice Awards is to iMater Academy. Congratulations, guys. I think you get a trophy as well, which is way better than binoculars. You can check this out on our YouTube channel, which is Fairchild Challenge at youtube.com. Congratulations, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. James Stroud. Everyone clap it up for James. He just defended his PhD. He is officially doctor, accepted a postdoc over at Washington State, so we're very proud of him. I'm very honored to have worked with him. So, in case you did not already guess, our overall second place winner for Shade Air Schools goes to St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic School. Congratulations to you. So come on up. So first and second place winners get our extra special, extra nice binoculars, as well as a bird guide for birding here at Fairchild Garden. So make sure you come on back with those and check out our bird trails. Congratulations. First place for our Shade Air Schools Flora and Fauna goes to Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart. And again, a beautiful box of binoculars as well as some extra fancy, extra nice ones, and a book to birding here at Fairchild. Congratulations, Carrollton. Number 7, our last challenge of the evening, but don't think you're going home after this because that's when we give away our cash prizes. Challenge 7 was the Million Orchid Project. Through this project, we are working to repopulate endangered native South Florida orchids. Our teachers, yet again, spent yet another Saturday with us to learn about our native orchids and to understand the different components of the research that they were doing. Dr. Jason Downing is the lead scientist on that. He works here at Fairchild. He took the lead. We also have a partnership. We have the STEM Lab, which is chosen, schools are chosen through Miami-Dade County Public School Systems, where we have a full lab on wheels that goes to those schools and they perform different scientific experiments with our native orchids. So, yet again, we are becoming very familiar with your teachers and your students' teachers. To our special merits, students submitted an illustration for this, and our first award goes to Campbell Drive K-8 for their Joseville Corvo for his artistic rendering. No? Anyone? Bueller? Our next award goes to Manor Lakes Academy, Ian Teresa Calleja for the attention to detail. Just so you guys can understand the scope of this project, we broke this up into data points as well as illustration points. So your students and teachers were responsible for so much work. They were collecting data bi-weekly for up to 16 weeks on their orchids that they outplanted in their garden. They received Bletia, the pine pink orchid, and then they had to depict an illustration of an orchid that we are studying for the Million Orchid Project in its native habitat. So perhaps some of these orchids look familiar to you. Our next award goes to St. Agnes Catholic School, to Catalina Tarafa for her stylistic design. Okay, moving on. Next award, St. John Newman to Mia Sanchez for her creative depiction of the habitat. Our next special merit goes to St. Kevin Catholic School, Angelina Fernandez for the beautiful color contrast. And my, is that color contrast. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Our next award goes to the Biltmore School, to Melissa Murray for Creative Artistry. You don't have to run. You can walk briskly. Congratulations to Melissa Murray from the Biltmore School. Now moving on to our first and second place. Our second place winner goes to, oh, excuse me, getting ahead of myself. No, I'm rewinding, okay. Second place goes to Jane S. Roberts K-8 Center, to Daniela Lacatera for her beautiful, beautiful watercolor artwork. We were so impressed with this. Congratulations. And our first place winner for the Million Orchid Project illustration goes to NSU University School, Alina Monstrakia, for first place illustration. If you are here, I apologize for butchering your last name. You deserve better. No? Okay. Like I mentioned, this project was divided up into data points as well as illustration points. So those were our award winners for illustration. And now we're moving on to our award winners for the overall project. That included both their data collection as well as the points they accrued for their illustration, as well as their tweeting and Instagram and all the social media that we asked them to do. So our second place overall winner goes to St. Kevin Catholic School for the Million Orchid Project. Come on up. You can see schools were given little silver tags, they were giving measuring tape, and they were looking at different media that they were planting it in. So they were either planting it out in the garden, they were keeping them in pots, they were putting them in soil, and that's going to help us create better outplanting practices when we plant our orchids out into our different municipalities and outside of the garden with the different partnerships that we have. Our first place overall winner goes to NSU University School. Congratulations. We could clap for them anyway. Moving on, each year we recognize those schools that who have received a Fairchild Challenge Award for X amount of years in a row. This year we'd like to recognize Christie Steps Academy and Mast Academy for their 5-year participation. They have excelled for 5 years in a row, so why don't you come on up. We'd also like to acknowledge Mast Academy Middle. They have received their 5-year FCA Award, School of Excellence, as well as a special shout out to St. Kevin Catholic School. If you are here, come on up. Congratulations and thank you for your 10 years of participation. So congratulations to our 5-year award winners. We are so very proud of you. And I would like to take this moment to remind you that we have our photo opportunity set up outside with beautiful flowers that were lent to us by our nursery. So please be kind to them, but please be sure to take your photo in front of them. Congratulations, come on, this is great. So we award our schools of excellence for both 5, 10, and 15 years. So we do have one 15-year winner. We did it. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, St. Kevin, your 10-year banner. Come on up. I thought you came up. My mistake. Congratulations, St. Kevin. Thank you so, so much. Again, you guys make our program. We couldn't do it without our schools and our teachers and our students, so thank you. Like I said, rewind. We do this, this is our 16th year doing it, so our next school I'm about to announce has excelled in this program for 15 years. And so we'd like to give a big thank you and a big congratulations to George Washington Carver Middle School. Congratulations, George Washington Carver. Again, we really couldn't have this program without the participation that you guys do. Another big round of applause. Thank you so much. And now, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm going to hand it over to Barbara. She's going to go through our top winning schools and announce those schools that will be going home with checks tonight. So get excited.
So the schools that received these banners that you just saw received those by participating in each of the years and receiving a specific amount of points. This year, all of our Fairchild Challenge Award-winning schools reached at least 1,000 points by accumulating those points throughout the year in all of the competitions that you've heard today. So we're going to start first with a group of schools that received this Fairchild Challenge Award. This is not yet our top 16 because this year we definitely had a lot of schools that received that over 1,000 Fairchild Challenge Award. So we're going to start with first those that reached the 1,000 points in alphabetical order. George Washington Carver Middle School, Hialeah Gardens. We'd like for a representative to come up to get framed certificates. Homestead Middle, King's Christian, Mast Academy, Mater Academy Lakes, Ponce de Leon, Ruben Dario, St. Thomas the Apostle, the Biltmore School, West Miami Middle, and Young Women's Prep. Can we have one or two representatives from those schools come up to get their framed certificates? And we're going to take a picture of this by groups because we have quite a large amount of participants from these schools. We have a lot of schools up. So we're just going to ask them to come up, and if you haven't gotten your framed certificate, to come through the front here. Mater Lakes. And Ruben Dario over here. We just want to take a big group picture. And then we're going to ask our representatives, we're going to give them, I think we're missing one more certificate. Let's give a big round of applause for our first group of Fairchild Challenge Award recipients. We're going to ask you to come down, and if you want to stick around, the people with the frame certificates, and you can just sit right here on the stage. So go down and just sit here so we can announce our top 16 schools. Perfect. If you want to just take a seat. There we go. So we can take a big group picture with all of our award-winning schools. Are you right? Our bronze winners. These schools receiving a check for $500 to take back to their schools are, in alphabetical order, Aventura Waterways, Christie Steps, Country Club, I Matter, Jose de Diego, Mandarin Lakes, Nautilus, NSU University School, Renaissance Middle, and South Miami Middle. Let's give them a big round of applause. Our Bronze Award Fairchild Challenge winners. All right. So I'm going to ask if we can make a little bit of space here, ladies, in the front. If you can come to the front here and go to the bottom a little bit. Here we go. So we can go to the front so I can have. Okay. A little bit more that way, just so they can see the screen. All right. Our next group. In fact, let me see, can we make a little bit of space? We can just a little bit back up so we can get the next group. Perfect. All right. Our next 5 winners will be receiving $750 to take back to their school in alphabetical order. Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart, Jose Martin Mast, Palmetto Middle School, Rockaway Middle School, and St. Kevin Catholic School. Big round of applause for our Silver Award winners. All right. Are you guys ready to find out who is our Gold Award winner? This year, receiving $1,500 to take back to their school. Are we ready? Yeah. Congratulations to Eric. Let's give him a big round of applause, Eric. So teachers, if you haven't received your check, you're going to come to Amy afterwards and you're going to receive this.